What if I revealed that the pathway to a stunning, professional-grade garden isn't locked away in high-end nurseries, but actually waiting for you in the aisles of Dollar Tree? And I'm not referencing the typical containers everybody discusses. I'm highlighting products so unconventional that even experienced horticulturists pass them by without a second glance. Stay tuned, because number 7 genuinely prompted my neighbor to inquire whether I'd employed a professional landscaping company. Hello there, gardening enthusiasts. Welcome back to Greenhaven Hacks, where we demonstrate that stunning outdoor environments don't demand stunning price tags. If this is your first visit, you've just discovered your new go-to gardening resource on YouTube, where we transform dollar store purchases into horticultural treasures. And to my loyal subscribers, welcome back to another exciting journey. You understand what we're about. We're going to explore $15 tree finds that are absolute revolutionaries. And I guarantee these aren't your standard suggestions. Before we begin, do me a small favor. If you're committed to developing an amazing garden without draining your bank account, press that subscribe button immediately. And here's what matters. Activate the notification bell, because I release new, affordable garden strategies every single day. And believe me, you won't want to miss what's approaching next. All right, let's explore these 15 hacks that are going to fundamentally change your perspective on Dollar Tree. Hack number 1. Shower caddies transformed into vertical herb planters. Okay, starting strong. And this discovery absolutely amazed me when I figured it out. You're familiar with those metal shower organizers featuring multiple tiers, the ones equipped with small hooks designed to suspend from your shower head. Exactly those. Here's the secret nobody's sharing with you. Invert that item, mount it on your fence or garden barrier, and instantly you've created the ideal vertical herb station that would normally cost you $60 minimum at a gardening retailer. Here's the reason this functions so magnificently. Each level transforms into its individual planting platform. Purchase some compact plastic vessels, the variety Dollar Tree offers in 3 packs. Create several drainage openings in the base, and you're ready to go. But here's the truly brilliant aspect of this configuration. That metal framework allows air to circulate around your herbs exceptionally well, which maintains their health and prevents that terrible root rot that destroys so many containerized herbs. Additionally, during rainfall, the moisture naturally flows downward through each level. It's as though you've engineered a self-irrigation arrangement without any effort. My basil has been flourishing for 4 months currently, and whenever someone observes it, they presume I invested a fortune on some elaborate vertical gardening system. Wrong, just a shower caddy and some innovative thinking. Hack number 2. Foam floor mats serving as kneeling cushions. Let's discuss something every gardener experiences, but rarely acknowledges. Kneeling in your garden for extended periods absolutely punishes your knees. I used to rise after weeding and feel as though I'd gained 30 years in 30 minutes. Garden kneeling pads at retailers cost anywhere from $15 to $40. That's outrageous for what amounts to basically cushioned foam. Enter Dollar Tree and proceed directly to the children's department. Those foam floor mats, the interlocking puzzle-style ones intended for play areas. Purchase a package of those. Each package typically contains 4 mats. And here's the wonderful aspect. They're substantial, they're moisture-resistant, and they're engineered to withstand weight and pressure. That's precisely what a kneeling cushion requires. That I maintain 2 mats connected as my primary kneeling surface. And I possess a single mat that I utilize when I'm performing lighter tasks or when I simply need something quick to kneel on while inspecting my plants. Following an entire season of usage, and I mean extensive use because I'm working outside nearly every day, these items still appear pristine. No fractures, no flattening, no unusual odors from moisture exposure. They rinse with a hose in moments. The optimal part: I've invested $2.50 total, and I have reserve mats stored in my garden shed for when these eventually deteriorate, which at this pace might occur sometime in the coming decade. Your knees will appreciate you. Your finances will appreciate you. And you'll question why you ever contemplated spending significant money on premium garden kneelers. Hack number 3. Cooling rack functioning as a soil strainer. Now, this following one is for anyone who's ever attempted to establish a garden from nothing or refresh their soil. Filtering soil is one of those responsibilities that appears straightforward until you genuinely attempt it. Professional soil filtering equipment costs anywhere from $20 to $50. And for what purpose? A structure with some screening. It's absurd. Dollar Tree offers wire cooling racks in their kitchen department. You recognize them, the ones individuals use for baked goods and pastries. That grid configuration is absolutely ideal for filtering garden soil. And here's the reason this functions better than you'd anticipate. The spacing between the wires is optimal for removing stones, roots, lumps, and debris while permitting the beneficial material to fall through. That I utilize mine regularly when I'm preparing soil for seed initiation or when I'm improving my garden plots. Here's my precise method. I position the cooling rack over a large container or wheelbarrow, pour a portion of soil on top, and simply work it around with my hands or a small tool. Everything undesirable remains on top, and beautiful, aerated, ready-to-utilize soil descends through into your receptacle below. It requires perhaps 30 seconds to process a reasonable quantity of soil. The wire construction indicates this item is practically indestructible. I've been utilizing the identical cooling rack for 2 cultivation seasons now, and it still appears factory new. It cleanses instantly, and because it's metal, you needn't worry about it deteriorating in the sun or fracturing like plastic alternatives. For $1.25, you've acquired a professional-grade soil strainer that'll serve you for years. This represents one of those hacks where you'll genuinely forget there's an expensive alternative because the economical version functions so flawlessly. Hack number 4. Plastic table coverings serving as garden row protectors. Alright, this hack proves especially valuable if you're managing unexpected temperature drops or if you desire to prolong your cultivation season without purchasing a greenhouse. Professional garden row protectors and frost defense fabric can easily cost you $30 to $60 depending on the dimensions you require. Meanwhile, Dollar Tree offers plastic table coverings for $1.25 each. Now, I'm not suggesting utilizing these as permanent installations, but for temporary frost defense or for establishing a quick greenhouse effect over your seedlings, these function phenomenally. Here's my application method. When there's a frost advisory, I spread the table coverings over my raised plots or directly over plants requiring protection. The plastic captures warmth near the ground and prevents frost from settling directly on your plants. I've rescued entire harvests of lettuce and spinach this way during those unusual late spring freezes we've been experiencing. But here's another brilliant application nobody mentions. Early in the season, when you're attempting to warm your soil to prepare it for planting, position these table coverings directly on your garden plots. The plastic absorbs warmth from the sun and transfers it into the soil, which can accelerate your planting timeline by 1 or 2 weeks. This is termed soil solarization, and commercial agricultural operations use this precise technique just with considerably more expensive materials. One table covering protects approximately 4 feet by 8 feet. So for most residential gardens, 2 or 3 table coverings will accommodate your entire arrangement. If that's under $5 for professional-grade frost and heat defense. And when you're finished with them, they fold extremely small and occupy virtually no storage room. This represents one of those hacks that appears too elementary to genuinely function, but then you utilize it once and you're absolutely converted. Hack number 5. Dish drying stands serving as seedling coordinators. If you initiate seeds indoors, you understand the disorder that can develop. Seed containers everywhere, no coordination. You're perpetually rearranging things attempting to achieve proper light distribution, and somehow you invariably end up toppling something over. I used to have seed starting materials dispersed across 3 separate tables, and it was catastrophic. Then I discovered that dish drying stands from Dollar Tree are absolutely ideal for coordinating seedling containers. These stands typically have a flat bottom portion and then an angled upper portion with drainage channels. That angled portion is perfect for positioning seed trays at an angle toward your illumination source, which assists seedlings in growing upright instead of leaning and becoming elongated. But here's the aspect that genuinely convinced me about this system. That wire construction permits air to flow under and around your seedlings, which is essential for preventing damping off disease. That's the fungal issue that eliminates seedlings overnight and devastates gardeners' aspirations everywhere. Enhanced air circulation means healthier seedlings, sturdier stems, and improved success percentages when it's time to transplant. I progressed from approximately 60% of my seedlings reaching transplant dimensions to nearly 95% simply by enhancing air circulation with these stands. For under $2 per stand, that's an absolute transformation for anyone serious about initiating plants from seed. Hack number 6. Pool noodles serving as garden tool safeguards. Now, let's discuss garden tool storage because I understand I'm not the only individual who's ever grasped a shovel and concluded with blisters or stored tools in the shed only to have the sharp edges damage other equipment or worse trigger an injury. Commercial tool safeguards and handle cushions cost $5 to $15 per tool. That accumulates remarkably fast when you possess a complete collection of garden equipment. Dollar Tree offers pool noodles for $1.25. And one pool noodle can safeguard essentially every tool in your shed. Here's your procedure. For sharp edges like hoes, shovels, or pruning shears, cut a portion of pool noodle approximately 4 to 6 inches long. Slice it along one side and slip it over the blade. Instant blade protection that prevents corrosion, safeguards other tools, and maintains your safety when you're reaching into your tool storage. For tool handles that are uncomfortable to grasp or that produce blisters, cut longer portions of pool noodle and slide them onto the handles. This creates customized cushion grips that make extended gardening sessions considerably more comfortable. I implemented this with all my long-handled tools, shovels, rakes, hoes, and it completely transformed how my hands feel following a full day of yard maintenance. The foam material is weather-resistant. It doesn't deteriorate in heat or cold, and if a piece becomes dirty or worn out, you possess an entire noodle remaining to create replacements. Sometimes the optimal hacks are the most straightforward ones. Hey, brief interruption here because we're about to transition into hack number 7, which is honestly my absolute favorite on this complete list. But before we proceed, if you're appreciating these concepts and you can already envision yourself at Dollar Tree loading your cart, do me an enormous favor. Press that like button immediately. It assists this video in reaching more gardeners who require these budget-friendly solutions. And leave a comment below informing me which hack you're attempting first. I review every single comment, and I appreciate seeing what you all create. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We're constructing an incredible community of gardeners who refuse to overspend, and I'd appreciate you being part of it. Press that subscribe button, activate notifications, and let's continue transforming gardens together without destroying the bank. All right, let's transition into hack number 7. And believe me, this one is absolutely worth the anticipation. Hack number 7. Solar pathway illumination serving as garden accent lighting. Okay, this is the hack I referenced at the beginning that made my neighbor believe I'd hired a professional landscaping company. Garden illumination, when executed properly, completely transforms your outdoor environment. It adds atmosphere. It emphasizes your hard work. And it prolongs the time you can genuinely enjoy your garden into the evening hours. Professional garden lighting arrangements cost hundreds of dollars, potentially thousands if you select something genuinely elaborate. Dollar Tree offers solar pathway lights for $1.25 each. Now, I'm not going to misrepresent and inform you these are identical quality as a $200 set from a specialty retailer, but here's what they absolutely can accomplish. Create breathtaking accent lighting throughout your garden for literally a fraction of the expense. Here's the secret to making these appear expensive. Don't arrange them in a line like traditional pathway lights. Instead, group them in clusters of 2 or 3 among your taller plants. Utilize them to illuminate interesting plants or garden features upward and position them at varying heights by either pushing them deeper into the soil or leaving them higher. This creates depth and visual appeal that appears professionally designed. The solar panels charge throughout the day, and they automatically illuminate at dusk. No wiring, no electricity expenses, no complicated installation. I've had mine positioned for 8 months now. And yes, I've had to replace several batteries, but Dollar Tree offers those, too. The effect at night is absolutely enchanting. My garden transitions from attractive during the day to breathtaking at night. And I invested the same amount most individuals spend on a single restaurant meal. People genuinely pause when they're passing by in the evening to observe my garden. I've had 3 separate neighbors inquire who executed my landscape lighting. When I inform them it's $15 worth of Dollar Tree lights, their jaws drop to the floor. This hack alone has received more compliments than everything else in my garden combined. And it's evidence that intelligent placement and creativity matter considerably more than expensive equipment. Hack number 8. Command hooks serving as tool suspenders. Let's be realistic about garden shed coordination because I understand most of us have tools simply leaning against barriers, accumulated in corners, or distributed across workbenches. You waste time searching for items, tools get damaged, and the entire shed feels disorderly. Professional pegboard arrangements or wall coordinators can cost $30 to $100 depending on dimensions. Dollar Tree offers command hooks in various dimensions, and these are absolute shed revolutionaries. The outdoor-rated ones function perfectly, but honestly, even the standard ones maintain adequately in a covered shed. Here's my arrangement. I mounted command hooks on every available wall area in my shed based on what tools I utilize most frequently. Small hooks for hand trowels and pruners, medium hooks for larger hand tools, and the heavy-duty hooks for long-handled equipment like rakes and shovels. Everything has a designated location. Everything's visible immediately, and I can retrieve exactly what I require in seconds that in almost searching through accumulations or moving 10 items to access the one item I require. The adhesive strips indicate no drilling, no complicated installation. And if you determine you desire to rearrange your configuration, you can reposition hooks without leaving openings or damage. My shed transitioned from a catastrophe zone to being efficiently coordinated in approximately 45 minutes. And every time I enter there now, I feel as though I possess my life organized. Sometimes it's the small victories, you understand. Hack number 9. Suction cup hooks for greenhouse coordination. If you're operating any variety of greenhouse arrangement, even a small hoop structure or cold frame situation, you understand that interior area is valuable. You require to maximize every inch. But you also cannot mount permanent hooks or coordinators because they interfere with the structure. This is where Dollar Tree suction cup hooks become absolute lifesavers. These hooks adhere to any smooth surface utilizing suction, which indicates they function perfectly on greenhouse plastic, glass, or any transparent panels you're utilizing. I utilize them to suspend small tools like pruners, to position thermometers and humidity monitors where I can genuinely observe them, and to coordinate stakes, ties, and other supplies that would otherwise clutter my limited workspace. The brilliance of suction cups in a greenhouse is that they're temporary by nature. When you require to remove your plastic sheeting for cleaning or at the conclusion of the season, your hooks detach without leaving residue or damage. You can reposition them whenever your requirements change, and they don't create any openings or weak points in your greenhouse covering. Hack number 10. Fabric shower curtains serving as shade material. Here's something every gardener in a warm climate manages. Intense afternoon sun can absolutely scorch your plants, especially delicate seedlings or shade-preferring varieties. Professional shade material costs $15 to $40 depending on dimensions and shade percentage. It functions effectively, don't misunderstand me, but there's a considerably cheaper option positioned in Dollar Tree's bathroom department. Fabric shower curtains make surprisingly effective shade material, and here's the reason. They're designed to handle moisture. They arrive in large dimensions that provide adequate coverage, and the fabric weave naturally blocks a significant percentage of sunlight while still permitting air circulation. That I purchased several neutral-colored ones, tan and light gray, because they reflect heat better than dark colors. I drape them over tomato cages during the warmest part of summer afternoons. I've arranged them up over my lettuce plot utilizing some stakes and clips, and I utilize them to create temporary shade structures wherever I require them. That alone makes this hack worthwhile, because summer lettuce from your personal garden is essentially like cultivating gold. Hack number 11. Plastic containers serving as water reservoirs for self-watering planters. Self-watering planters are incredible for anyone who travels, forgets to water, or simply desires healthier plants with less daily maintenance. Commercial self-watering arrangements cost anywhere from $20 to $60 per planter. But you can construct your own utilizing plastic storage containers from Dollar Tree, and the results are equally beneficial. Here's the basic concept. You require two containers where one fits inside the other with some space underneath. Dollar Tree offers plastic containers in various dimensions that nest perfectly for this purpose. Take your outer container. That's your water reservoir. Take your inner container, drill drainage openings all over the bottom and a few inches up the sides and position it inside the outer container. Fill that gap between the two containers with water, and that's your reservoir. Now fill the inner container with soil and plant normally. The water in the reservoir gets absorbed upward through the drainage openings by capillary action, which indicates your plants extract moisture as they require it. This creates incredibly consistent moisture levels, which most plants absolutely appreciate. No more cycles of excessively wet than excessively dry that stress plants out. The excellence of DIY is you can customize the dimensions to accommodate your space and your plant's requirements. Require something for a small herb? Utilize smaller containers. Desire to cultivate tomatoes? Utilize larger storage containers. Same principle, scaled to whatever you require. This represents one of those hacks where once you construct one and observe how effectively it functions, you'll conclude constructing 5 more because they're just that beneficial. Hack number 12. Mesh laundry bags serving as produce drying bags. If you harvest your personal garlic, onions, potatoes, or any produce that requires to cure and dry before storage, you understand the challenge of finding an adequate drying arrangement. You require airflow from all sides. You require to maintain pests away, and you require something that doesn't occupy a ton of space. Traditional drying racks or suspension arrangements can get expensive rapidly. Dollar Tree offers mesh laundry bags, the variety with a drawstring closure, and these are perfect for curing produce. The mesh permits complete air circulation from every direction. The drawstring permits you to suspend them anywhere, and the bag design maintains bugs and pests out while your harvest cures. I utilize these for everything from garlic to herbs to small potatoes. Here's my arrangement. After I harvest garlic, I gently brush off excess dirt, leave the stems and roots on for now, and load approximately 6 to 8 heads into each mesh bag. Then I suspend the bags in my covered porch area where they receive adequate air circulation but no direct rain or harsh sun. The garlic cures perfectly in approximately 3 weeks. And because the mesh permits air to reach every bulb, I don't experience any rot or mold issues. For anyone cultivating food, this is such a simple solution to a problem that used to frustrate me. Hack number 13. Foam hair rollers serving as plant ties. Okay, this one sounds absolutely unusual, but hear me out. Plants require support and ties for all varieties of reasons. Tomatoes require to be secured to stakes. Vining plants require to be trained onto trellises, and young trees require gentle support as they establish. Traditional plant ties function adequately, but they can be expensive, and some varieties can actually damage plants if they're excessively tight or excessively rough. Dollar Tree offers foam hair rollers in their beauty department, and these make phenomenally gentle plant ties. The foam is soft enough that it won't cut into stems. It's flexible enough to adjust as plants develop, and the design makes them incredibly easy to utilize. You simply wrap them around the plant and the support structure and secure them. No tools required, no complicated knots, and you can reposition them in seconds. I utilize these primarily for my tomatoes and my climbing beans. The foam cushions the stem, which prevents the damage and scarring you occasionally get from wire or string ties. As the plant develops and the stem thickens, the foam has enough flexibility that it doesn't strangle the plant like rigid ties can. And when the growing season concludes, these clean up easily and you can reuse them year after year. A pack of foam rollers costs approximately $2.50 and typically contains 8 to 12 pieces. That's enough to support several plants, and the cost is less than purchasing even one package of elaborate plant ties from the garden center. This represents one of those hacks where people observe it and believe you've lost your mind, but then they attempt it once, and suddenly they're at Dollar Tree purchasing every foam roller in inventory. Hack number 14. Plastic drawer organizers serving as seed storage arrangements. If you're like me, you possess seed packets everywhere. Some are from this year, some are from 3 years ago. You can't remember what's still viable, and you waste time every planting season attempting to determine what you possess and where it is. Proper seed storage arrangements with labeled compartments cost $20 to $40, which seems outrageous for what's essentially plastic dividers. Dollar Tree offers plastic drawer organizers that are absolutely perfect for storing and coordinating seeds. These typically have multiple compartments in various dimensions. They're transparent, so you can observe what's inside, and they're sturdy enough to handle being moved around. I purchased 3 organizers and created a complete seed storage arrangement. Here's how I configured mine. 1 organizer for vegetable seeds, sorted by plant family, 1 organizer for flower seeds, sorted by bloom time, and 1 organizer for herbs and specialty items. Each packet fits nicely in a compartment. I can observe everything immediately, and I added small labels utilizing Dollar Tree label stickers. The entire arrangement resides in a cool, dry location in my house, which maintains seeds viable longer. The optimal part is adding notes to track what functions. I maintain a small notebook with my organizers where I track which varieties perform optimally, which ones disappointed, and what I desire to attempt next year. This arrangement has completely eliminated the chaos of seed storage, and I no longer purchase duplicate packets because I forgot I already possess something. The money I've saved just in not repurchasing seeds I already owned has compensated for these organizers 10 times over. Getting coordinated isn't exciting, but the time and money it saves absolutely is. Hack number 15. Microfiber cloths serving as frost protection wraps. Final hack, and this one is especially beneficial for anyone cultivating in containers or anyone with delicate plants that require frost protection. We discussed utilizing table coverings for ground-level plots earlier, but for individual plants, especially potted ones, you require something more fitted and protective. Commercial frost protection bags can cost $5 to $15 per bag, which gets expensive rapidly if you possess multiple containers. Dollar Tree offers microfiber cloths in multi-packs, typically 3 to 5 cloths for $1.25. These are perfect for wrapping individual pots or creating custom frost protection. Microfiber has several advantages. It's breathable so your plant doesn't suffocate, that it's insulating so it traps heat close to the plant. And it's reusable for years if you maintain it properly. When frost is approaching, I take a microfiber cloth and drape it over the plant, securing it loosely at the base with a clothespin or twist tie. The cloth protects the foliage from direct frost contact while still permitting the plant to breathe. For extra protection on genuinely cold nights, I'll utilize 2 cloths, one over the plant and one wrapped around the pot to protect the roots. I've saved so many plants this way. Tender herbs that would have perished in an unexpected freeze, potted flowers that weren't quite ready to come inside, and young seedlings that got hardened off a little too early. Each cloth costs essentially nothing. They wash easily, and they fold small for storage. For anyone executing container gardening, or anyone who likes to extend their growing season a little longer than they probably should, these are absolute lifesavers. If you're not subscribed to Green Haven Hacks yet, you're missing out on daily budget gardening content that genuinely functions. We're constructing something special here, a community of gardeners who believe that beautiful gardens should be accessible to everyone, regardless of budget. Press that subscribe button and activate notifications so you never miss an upload. I've got more Dollar Tree hacks approaching. I've got seasonal cultivation guides, budget landscaping projects, and so much more planned. You don't desire to miss any of it. Thank you so much for investing this time with me today. Thank you for being part of this community. Now, proceed out there, visit Dollar Tree, and let's transform some gardens together. I'll see you in the next video. Happy gardening, everyone.